Did you finish talking with the village chief? Alright, well, I don't need to read this again. Let's eat and stay overnight. Good, you should eat to help get back your strength for whoops. I've fixed a nice big meal as a token of my gratitude for rescuing Rem. Boy, Mom's cooking is the best. Well, I guess they didn't really join us for dinner. Let's talk to Sue. Puff, puff, puff. Puff, puff. Okay, Puffy, don't get so excited. It's alright. Here, you can have some too. I understand why Puffy makes such a fuss. Rem's mother cooks up some delicious food. I just love this pie. It reminds me of Aunt Lily's cooking, eh, Justin? Puff chew. Yeah, what are you doing, Puffy? You know better than to sneeze when your mouth is full. Really? Puffy's gonna get a runny nose now. Maybe he got a chill in that mist. Don't ever sneeze when your mouth is full, okay, Puffy? Puff chew. Alright, she's done talking. That village chief is so pessimistic, huh, Fina? Yeah, he certainly wasn't supportive of what we're doing, but he must think about his own position. He can't help bearing the final responsibility. We should be thankful that he let us stay in this village. But we're not equipped to cross through the Misty Forest. What could we do? Speak the... Okay, That mist in the Misty Forest has made our clothing all wet. I can't wait to take a hot bath. Sure, I'll join you, Fina. But no peeking, Justin. Are we gonna have another... Or maybe Justin would like to join us in the bath? Well, if... Just kidding, Justin. Boy, Justin, you just believe whatever people say. Dear God. Colonel, we found them to the northwest. There's a humanoid village at bearing 10. The platoon trailing the humanoid child has also reported that the forest's mist is clearing. All according to plan, Colonel. Don't forget what our objective is, to obtain what we spoke of. We've just begun. Prepare to effect personal drop. Personnel drop? Yes, sir. With permission, sir. Lieutenant Lean, you will be in command. Yes, Colonel. We shall obtain the last piece without fail, sir. It is you who will be able to feel its presence. Find it. Yes, sir. Uh-oh. A dark mist came over the village. What was that sound? It sounded kind of like a train's locomotive. Uh-oh. It also seems like that the sound is getting louder. What the heck is that? I saw it from the window. It's some huge black thing that's floating across the sky. I saw soldiers like the one who took me away. Lots of them came out of that thing and ran to the mountains. The Carlisle forces. But how did they find out where Luke Village is? I was wondering that myself. Anyway, let's go have a look. I mean, clearly we led them right to... We literally stepped out of the train right... Wasn't that far from there. I feel like it's our fault. Justin, those are the soldiers who captured me. They're coming for me again, huh? No, they're not. They wouldn't send so many soldiers for that. Lived here a long time, but it's the first time I've seen that huge black shadow. I guess when Rem broke the law and went outside the Misty Forest, it caused this catastrophe to befall us. No, that's not it at all. This is not Rem's fault. Debatable. Debatable. Somewhat debatable. Oh no, Chief, some people are going to Gotta Light Mountain. They're gonna steal the icon. Not the icon. What do we do, Chief? That icon protects our village. If they steal it, our village is kaput. If that icon gets stolen, then I don't know what we'll do. Chief, it's times like these when we need your wisdom most. First, everyone just calm down. Now we have no choice but to fight to protect our icon. However, we have been living all by ourselves here in Luke Village. We've never fought any battles before, so even if we do fight this time, chances are we will all be killed. Oh, this is not an easy decision. Chief, let us handle this. If they're Carlisle soldiers, we know we can drive them off. Wait just a minute, Justin. Justin, are you okay? Why did you have to volunteer us? No one in this village knows how to fight, so the only other option is for us to handle this, that's why. Besides, aren't we Rem's friends? Rem's home village is facing a crisis, right? So of course we must do what we can. Friends. Friends. You're right, we are Rem's friends. Okay, let's chase those rude dudes away. Oh, what brave youngsters you are. You'll fight to save this village. We must ask you to do what you can to protect our sacred icon, our God of Light statue. Just leave it to us. Okay, gang, let's get moving. Alright, gang. Let's get moving. Where are we going? Faithful to do whatever they can to help. We'll do our best, of course. After all, you're all our friends. Now we have hope. Okay, everyone, never forget what you heard here. Do I go to the forest or do I go to the icon? I guess I'll go to the forest? Whoops, that was the village chief's house. Probably don't need to go in there. Let's see. This leads... That's the entrance. Okay, so I don't need to go there. I guess I'm going to the icon. Alright. Going up to the icon, then. Well, I suppose we're going to the icon, lads. I don't have much to talk about today. I finally got my heater fixed. Oh no, this is the other way, okay. Hey, I've been ordered to stop anyone from entering here. I'll use force if necessary. I had to call maintenance like 2 days ago. And, I called at like 5:30, so they're like, we won't be able to send somebody till tomorrow. I was like, okay, fine. So, I waited until today. They sent somebody over. I wasn't sure because I didn't receive a phone call or anything. They just like showed up. I kind of thought they would announce themselves and like give me a phone call and be like, hey, we're gonna arrive at this at so and so time, so I could like prepare to be home. You know, look, I mean, I'm working from home, so it's not that big a problem. But like, if I wasn't, like, I need to know and like plan my day accordingly. You know, what a mess. Our glorious Garlisle soldiers. But they just didn't tell me anything, and they just showed up at like 2:30. They're like, I'm here to fix your heater. No one, and I mean no one, may pass through here. I'll stop anyone and everyone. So I had to clear some stuff because I had some boxes like covering the heater. So I was not prepared. I thought I would have, you know, I'd know when they were coming and I could like prepare everything. But no, they just showed up. It was just one guy. This is like weird during, you know, during this time period. Like I don't know. Does anybody else? I think I just live in like a weird location where there's a lot of people who just don't care at all about like the COVID rules and everything. I haven't had anybody get like super like say anything super negative to me or anything, or be like, ooh. But I do get like, sometimes I'll get Grubhub. Like the other day, I ordered Grubhub, and this lady came to deliver it. And every time I get Grubhub, like even the website, even when the notification I get to my phone is like, hey, make sure you wear a mask for everyone's safety. So I always go wear a mask. What a fool! Why did I do it? What a mess. I always wear a mask, and it's not for me, but it's always like, I don't know, when you go out and you meet somebody and they're not wearing a mask, it's like it's just like awkward. What are the rest of them doing? Can't they stop you brats from passing through? I'm like, all right, you should probably be wearing a mask, like most certainly, for, you know, my safety and for, you know, for just for the, like, because you're representing this company, right? And it's like, I guess nobody here is gonna care too much or complain, probably, but I mean, goddamn, they probably should. I probably should complain about every single person that does. Problem is, I don't, because I just feel like they're not gonna do anything about it, and the next time I order food, I'm gonna get it from that same person, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're that guy that you know, gave me, like, reported me to Grubhub." I don't know. I should probably just do it. But it's not something that bothers me too much, because I can just, most of the time they just drop it off in front of my door and it's not a problem. But I did have a lady the other day that was like I talked to her, it wasn't a big deal, but she wasn't wearing a mask, and she kind of like made this statement like, "Sergeant, go do your job quickly." He's like, don't worry, I don't have it." And I'm like, okay. I was like, alright. Like, I wouldn't think you would, but, you know, it's just for both of our safety. Like, what if I have it, you know? Then I should be wearing a mask. Like, you don't know if I have it or not, so I'm wearing it mostly for your sake, you know, and for my own sake. But aren't you from Parm? What are you doing here? You don't look like you're willing to cooperate with us. I don't have to justify it, I know this, but I don't know, it's just there's like, it's weird now, you know? That I get this vibe that people think I'm being rude if I'm wearing a mask. I don't know. I do it no matter what, but so yeah, but I have had a lot of people that just like don't. Actually today I had a guy that like delivered food to my door. Literally knocked on my door. Most people will like drop the food off and then leave. Like they won't wait to hand it to me. They'll just drop it off in front of my door. Now if it wasn't COVID season, I'd probably prefer this approach, because if they don't do that, oftentimes they deliver to the wrong side of the building, which I've had happen many times during this thing. And it's gonna continue to happen because they always do it. But now why would Parmians be allied with humans? My orders are to regard anyone who comes here as an enemy. Prepare to fight. But I don't know. He knocked on my door, and like, I've actually had this guy deliver to me a couple times, and every single time I have him delivered to me, he answers the door while on the phone. Every single time I open the door, the dude's on the phone, talking to somebody else. I'm like, what the hell, man? What are you doing? Like, do you have some other job? Are you like multitasking super hard right now? Like like I'm a Grubhub driver, but I also do long distance business deals while I'm, it's like, Jesus, just do one thing, you know? Also, just leave my freaking order in front of my door. Why do you have to wait for me to come grab it out of your hands? And he's never wearing a mask. Not a single time has he worn a mask. He doesn't wear a mask, and he waits for me to answer the door. I'm like, God damn it, dude. Like, what? Like, why? Why are you doing this? It's just so weird. We must get to the final piece to him. You know, it's just weird. I don't know. But the maintenance guy today, he wasn't wearing a mask when I opened the door. But he had one like around his neck, so I opened the door wearing a mask. But that was the thing, was like he showed up kind of unannounced. So I was like, all right, well I gotta go find my mask. And then it's like, it's kind of weird because I don't know. You get somebody in the apartment and you're both. It's like I called a maintenance guy like really early in the COVID thing because I had. Oh god, I forget what it was. I had some other problem and I needed a maintenance guy to come fix it. So I had to call this guy and he seemed super uncomfortable to be there. He was like, He's like, he was trying to avoid me the whole time. He's like it was weird for me because like obviously it was early, so I wasn't really sure like what I should be doing. But he was like keeping a distance from me, like don't get too close. Every time I would like just reflexively kind of like get a little, because it's small hallways, you know. It's hard to just not be near this guy at some point, you know, while he's walking through my house, unless I just lock myself in some room and don't, like, you know what I mean? But I was wearing a mask, I think I was. And yeah, he just seems so like frightened. I got this other maintenance guy that showed up, and he seemed to not care as much. Like he opened when I opened the door, he wasn't wearing a mask, and then he just put it on. It seemed like he didn't put it on until like he saw that I was wearing one. He's like, oh, I should probably put on my like, okay. But it's just it's so weird now. Yeah, I had to clear out my closet, but the point of the story is that he didn't announce himself in any way that he was gonna show up, and so there were a lot of issues with that, of me trying to figure out like I just wasn't ready. I was like, they're probably not gonna come today, and I'll probably just have to call them. So I was like thinking to myself, I'll probably call them again at like 3 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock. They actually showed up at 2:30. I kind of, in my mind, already decided they probably weren't gonna show up, because I was so sure that they would announce themselves, right? And if they haven't, then they're not just gonna show up, and then they just show up. Like, okay, cool. What are you guys up to? Look, Justin, the god of light. Huh? From the air. Those creeps, they're hauling away the statue. We've got to stop them. Wait, give that statue back. Justin, what are you doing here? Oh, you're the one who hit me back at the base. Justin, why did you come here? Ah, I knew it. She's a sister. Ah, Fina. She was at the hideout. If you guys remember when we were hiding, we came out of a vent. And they came out a little later, so they like didn't see her talking to the main commander, but Justin saw her, and they were like, "Oh, who is that?" They made like they didn't see. So I thought it was hinting at the fact that she was probably the sister. Sis? Lean? Is that really you? I don't know if I said it though at the time. Fina. Huh? What? Fina, you called her sis? Is this your sister, Fina? Lean, it is you. Why are you doing such a thing? Fina, I'd wanted you to be the last person to know about this. Fact is, I'm a Garlisle soldier, Lieutenant Lean of the Mullen Division. At this time, the statue is being confiscated for a military operation, so you must stay down. Goodbye, Fina. Don't go near the forces again. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want you to get hurt. Lean, wait. Why are you doing this? No, the god of light. I won't let you do it. I don't know that we... Oh, here goes, Justin. Give back the statue, Lean. It belongs to Luke Village. Why didn't you take Fina and run away? After all the risk I took in letting you escape from the frontline base? Stop complaining. Give back the statue. Sorry, I can't do that. I've got to take this statue back. The honor of the Mullen Division is at the stake. Get off of this Spirit Stone. Spirit Stone? Don't make me force you off. I can't let you foul up our plans anymore. Wait, why do you call it a Spirit Stone? Yeah, what's that? This light is... Oh no! That light's from the Spirit Stone? Wow, so that's what happens. Justin's just straight up dead. Game over, boys. That's it. So I am to understand that it is Justin who had the Spirit Stone. Yes, sir. There's no mistaking it. That light could not have come from the statue. It was from Justin. Please, Colonel, Give me one more chance. This time I won't fail. It's too late. The mist of the forest has begun to close again. But Colonel, I could get it in time. That is an order, Lieutenant. You sacrifice yourself too much. Be more cautious. Yes, Colonel Mullen, I understand. That boy, Justin. I'll get him. I'll get him myself. Ouch, ouch. Justin. Justin, are you okay? You made such a loud noise when you fell. I'm fine. My rear's just a little sore. But I wonder, did I break the God of Light? Looks like most of it was taken away. I promised I would protect it. I'm afraid I've let down the village. Better gather up the pieces. I'll help you, Justin. We'll make a sincere apology to the village chief. Oh, we're here, safe and sound. My, what a relief. I must apologize, Chief. I tried to retrieve the statue, but as you can see, it was broken. Not even half of it remains. The God of Light statue is a broken mess now. No, it's not. It's okay the way it is. No matter how it ended, the fact is that you fought for Luke Village. For that, you have our utmost thanks. As a thank you gift, please accept this. Mist Clearing Nut acquired. Huh? Really? Are you sure we can have this, Chief? But, Chief, sir, you said that mist clearing nuts are very valuable and are not to be given to outsiders. For a long, long time, we've hidden behind a wall of mist in this forest, cut off from the world. However, by doing that, we've not had contact with great people like you. That has not been a wise policy. Now, when I think about it, the mist has enshrouded both Luke Village and the hearts of us villagers. We must learn to turn our eyes outward to the outside world as you do. It may take a while for us to do it. By the time Rem and the other children become adults, I'm sure we will come to know and understand outsiders. Hey, I understand them even now. Justin and I have already made a friend-to-friend promise, eh, Justin? Yes, we did. My, that's good to hear, Justin. I want you and your friends to know you'll always be welcome here. Boy, gee golly, thanks, guys. So you guys are going across the misty forest to the end of the world? I'll miss you guys a lot. Rem, I want to be an adventurer when I grow up, just like you guys. We've been shut off from wonderful people such as you. This village must become more open to the world. It may take some time, but I think everyone will agree to this eventually. We'll do our best to help. We hope you'll achieve this new goal. Luke is protected by mist. We mustn't leave until the mist is cleared. At least that's what we thought. Has the mist been protecting us, or have we simply been hiding in it? I suppose we're guilty of the latter. Now we must seek a new way. We must find a way to live with the mist without being dependent on it. Thank you deeply for protecting our God of Light. If it weren't for you, we'd... Huh? But we... You're thinking, but we broke it. If it weren't for you, the whole statue would have been taken away. We have you to thank for what remains of it. Thank you. Thanks to you, Luke Village is still protected. We were only able to bring back about half of the statue. That's alright. If it weren't for your efforts, not only the God of Light statue, but we too would have been hurt. We're indebted to you for protecting our God of Light. Thank you so much. And we are grateful for the precious mist-clearing nut that you so kindly bestowed upon us. Later, losers. JK. Y'all know we don't mean it. I'm so glad we were able to help them. The one thing I was a little confused by was the fact that I thought Fina's sister definitely would have known that... Wouldn't she have been aware that Fina had been captured? Since Fina's literally in the next cell. Like, she would have seen that, right? And known that Fina was traveling with us. Maybe tried to make an effort to, like, avoid being seen when we're around. I don't know. That was just a thought I had while we were at the base. But that's neither here nor there. We're now we're now, you know, moving on with our lives. So yeah, dude totally fixed my
We won!
my heater. I don't know what he did. Like, from what I could understand reading online, it just seemed like there was probably a blockage in the vents that needed to be cleared out, cleaned out. So I kind of thought this was going to be a whole other issue. Like, they're going to have to call somebody to, like, clear out my vents, my air ducts and shit. But I don't know what he did. Like, I literally tried to open up I opened up the panel, I removed the air filter, and I, like, vacuumed that little vent as much as I could. And it still wasn't working, so I have no idea what he did. But it didn't seem like he brought any tools. I didn't hear any sort of vacuum going off. It just seemed like he unplugged something, or he had like some weird tool. I don't know what it was, but he fixed it somehow. Dude knew what he was doing, I guess. I was like, alright, brah. Good job. So yeah, that was nice. I was a little worried I was gonna have to go without heat for another day. It's been like, this would be like the 3rd day, I think, without heat. And it was really starting to hit me how cold it was getting. Especially at nighttime. But we're good now, we're good. I guess I'll just leave. I don't see much need to stay. I can talk to Rem again before we leave. No, Rem's up at the mountain. Why would he be here? He's not here. Yeah, onwards. Thank you so much for all your help. To get to the end of the world, just go through the forest from there. You're good at mist clearing nut, right? That's to be used in the Misty North forest. It's supposed to clear away the mist. Sometimes even Luke villagers who know the forest will get lost, so please be careful out there. What you think, bro? Alright. Misty Forest. I thought we were way farther away than we were. Okay, here's where we give that mist clearing nut a try. Don't know how on earth that's supposed to work. It works. The mist is cleared. Way to go, Justin. Or should I say, way to go, mist clearing nut? Who gets the credit? Hey, there's no question about that, Asu. Okay, you two, let's go. What's my hint? Directions on compass. Some maps may have detours. If there are such detours, you may not get to the destination if you rely only on the directions shown on the compass. Compass indicates the direction of the destination, not necessarily the direction of the road to get there. Sometimes an adventurer needs to go against the compass. The compass tells me... Wait. That's what the compass does? Wait. I always thought the compass just worked like a compass and just pointed in one direction so you could orient yourself. I barely even pay attention to the compass. I didn't realize it was pointing me towards my destination the whole time. I don't really care that much. Because I usually try to explore the whole area anyways. What can we talk about, guys? What can we have discussions about? I watched... I already talked about Harley Quinn, didn't I? I already discussed that one. Did I save? Yeah, I did. Okay. So I watched another movie yesterday called... Oh, it was the last DC movie that I needed to watch. It was Wonder Woman 1984. Good movie. I was surprised because I feel like I've seen a lot of reviews lately, or I saw like a... Okay, so there was a YouTube video I watched where they were showing a bunch of review scores and they were all bad for every movie except for like the first Wonder Woman. Every single DC movie apparently reviewed terribly, which is kind of shocking to me because they don't really deserve it. I mean, the first Wonder Woman was great. I feel like the new Wonder Woman was pretty on par with what that was. Like, personally, it was just as entertaining, I thought. I had a good time watching it. I thought it was pretty fun. I would say if I were to complain about it, which I don't really want to because I overall kind of just enjoyed it, that it falls prey to a lot of the issues with DC, which is that they try to do way too much with every single movie. Like with it started. I mean, it started with Batman v Superman, where they were like, "Yeah, let's do a Batman versus Superman movie before we've even introduced a Batman into our plot line, and we've only done one Superman movie, like the crossover film. That's where we gotta go." Obviously, it turned out bad because they tried to do introduce this Batman character and have his reason for wanting to fight Superman like make sense within this movie, and then have the Superman battle, and then have them fight another thing at the end, and then have this other character show up to. It's just they just do too much. Every single movie has the same problem, and I think it's partly because they're trying to catch up with Marvel, and like they just need to stop and slow down, and they'll be making better movies. So, you know, like, Wonder Woman is, I think, the only movie they did that didn't do this. Like, didn't try to set something up, other than maybe Man of Steel. Like, Wonder Woman was the only movie that was just, it's a Wonder Woman movie. We're doing the Wonder Woman origin. And that's it. And they didn't do anything else. And it was pure, it was focused, and it was enjoyable. The problem with, like, Justice League Justice League was pretty much the worst of it. Other than maybe Suicide Squad, but Suicide Squad had other issues than... They didn't really need to do origins for all their characters. Although they did throw in the Joker stuff, which was pretty unnecessary. And, yeah, I don't know. A lot of those characters are fairly simple to understand. They're not too complex, so... It had a lot of other issues. But Justice League definitely, again, tried to do way too much. And was really confusing and hard to follow. Especially with their Batman, who, like, has not had a solo movie yet. I hope that's not an ambush. It's a fucking ambush. That's bad. That's pretty bad. I don't want to be ambushed by these things, of all things. We're going Tremor. Go for it, bruh. I need to take these guys out, for sure. I probably don't need to do that. That's probably too much.
Feel the Earth's fury!
But yeah, you know what I mean. Wait, how many times have I used Tremor already? I feel like I've just been autopiloting and not realized that I've used that so many times already. Like, they still have yet to do a singular Batman movie, and it's already become too late for them to even do it anymore. How are these guys not frickin' dead? Alright, one of them's dead. Okay. They introduced the Flash, still no solo Flash movie. Introduced Cyborg. Introduced Aquaman, all in Justice League. It's just like, it's a mess. It's a complete mess, and that's why all their movies are not great. It's like one of the sole reasons all of those movies fail to live up to expectations is because they just want to catch up so bad that they're not they and I mean, I get it, because part of it is like
Now you'll be okay.
part of it is like the superhero genre as a whole is kind of dying. So like they're thinking to themselves, we should probably get this going quick and make the money as soon as possible so that you know, we don't just miss the trend.
See my power.
I guess. I don't know if the trend is really gonna go away. I guess it is already kind of going away. But I don't know. I've been thinking of some of these teasers, and I feel like there is a way for them to sort of bring me back in terms of interest, and I feel like Disney's already kind of doing it because with WandaVision. Not to spoil WandaVision. Well, okay. But basically, if they start doing bigger crossover stuff, I feel like that's the way to go. That's the way to catch my interest. And fuck you and your stupid okay, it didn't count as an ambush. Somehow we ambushed them. Okay. I will take it. The only reason I'm starting with a big attack is because I want to make sure. Like last time we were facing these guys in we're stronger now, but because we did die that one time, I got a little bit worried and I wanted to do a big brutal attack before I start, you know, taking them out one by one. Okay, they're especially weak to burn. Maybe it's just Fina's really strong with fire magic.
Pretty easy, right, Puppy?
But I don't know. There was a new Spider-Man teaser. It's not much. It was the Super Bowl teaser where they just like revealed the name of the movie and then nothing else. Kind of dull. I want a little bit more. I feel like Marvel could bring me back, but I'm not sure. Like, I'm just not really sure. I feel like it's possible, but you're gonna have to do something big. Even though I am like watching WandaVision, I did watch the other Marvel films. I just don't know that I'd go see them in theaters. I might just wait a while to watch them at home. You know what I mean? I don't know. I am a little bit excited. I think the only one... No, there's like two I'm kind of excited for. So like Guardians 3, I feel like I'd be kind of excited for. I kind of want to see where they go with that. And then the other one is maybe Thor, because I just really loved Thor Ragnarok. I thought it was amazing, so I'd love to see how they continue that franchise. But of course, there's like how it ended in Endgame, and I want to see where they're going with like what they did there, because I feel like it's just gonna kind of be a Guardians movie. It's gonna be like Guardians 4? Guardians 3, 4? I don't know how to make sense of that in my head. A bow fruit. Have you ever heard of a bow fruit? They say if you share a bow fruit with somebody who you love, you'll be destined to stay together forever. Or something. Bruh! I just inadvertently ambushed myself. Like an idiot. Bruh. Oh, he's faster. His grapple nut. The power. Yeah, I don't know, maybe Spider-Man I'd be interested in, but... I don't know, I'm still kind of a comic book dork at the moment. I like reading the comic books because I feel like there's just a lot more potential there. Sometimes the movies kind of disappoint me with like what they're capable of. I was kind of disappointed with how Marvel wasn't really able to do, you know, the big the crossovers with all the TV shows and stuff, because that was kind of the big appeal to me of the MCU, was like, oh, we've got all of this shit and it's all canon. And then it's like, well, actually only the movies are canon and the rest is like, it's not, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? The fact that all that shit got kind of written out. But I guess they're trying to fix that with their Marvel Studios thing, so maybe there's potential for that to change. But then again, I mean, they have to make their shows a little bit more interesting than what they are currently. I mean, WandaVision's great. WandaVision's great, don't get me wrong, but how much is it really going to add to the overall... Like, it's not adding anything. It's just like we have... Like, we already have Wanda and the Vision, you know? We already have Scarlet Witch and the Vision, so... I guess there's a little bit of lore to them there, but they're not adding any, like, new characters or anything, right? Like, they're not bringing Daredevil into the MCU yet. Like, they're not doing anything like that, you know? That's basically what I mean. And that side of it's a little bit disappointing for me, I guess.
Burnout.
But I don't know. So I'm pretty much done with superhero movies. Oh yeah, I don't think I finished my thing, yeah. Wonder Woman 1984, right? I went on a tangent from this, but I meant to talk about this movie. Oh, they're the ones doing it. Oh, it's not me using it all the time. Okay. It's them. It was just a decent movie, you know? I was shocked. I was surprised. Everyone's been reviewed badly, but Aquaman wasn't bad. Aquaman I really liked, actually. Shazam was really good. I don't think Shazam reviewed well. And Wonder Woman 1984 was still good. Like, what was bad about that? I don't understand. Like, the only thing I can think, like I was saying, is that they maybe tried to do too much with it, because they tried to introduce 2 new characters. It was super long. 3 new characters with origins and shit. I don't know. It was a lot. And Harley Quinn kind of did the same thing, where it's like, let's shoehorn the Birds of Prey into this. You know what I mean? Like, they keep doing this, and it's just like, just stop doing that. And your movies will be better. But then I don't know if people will really appreciate their movie. They must be making money because they keep making these movies, you know? They must be making money still. Or else why wouldn't they have just stopped at this point? Every other franchise that's like reviewed negatively consistently is like just gives up eventually. I mean, look at the Dark Universe. Did I get ambushed by that? I'm gonna be pissed. Oh my god. Okay, whatever. Whatever, bro. Whatever, bruh. I wanna burn. Flame burn him.
Burnout.
Like the Dark Universe, which was, oh, there. I was like, wow, where's Heal? That was that movie that they were trying to do with... I'm gonna be so pissed if I die here. Alright, I feel like the move is just to do this.
Now you'll be okay.
There we go. We'll be fine. Okay. I'm gonna try to spam some heals out here, because I think we need them.
Alright, we won!
What was I just talking about? Let me use some items just to get rid of items. Sure, whatever. What was I literally just talking about a second ago? Hold on. Yeah, I don't know. They tried to do a little too much with it, but I don't get why they're reviewing poorly. This looks like a safe area. Oh, the Dark Universe. That was the one where they tried to bring back the Universal Monster movies. This looks like a safe area. Why don't we camp here tonight? I still can't believe that we're on an adventure in the Misty Forest, heading toward the end of the world. And it's a real adventure. I never felt this way on those silly Adventurers Society adventures. How far do you suppose we are from New Parm? I can't see the Luke Village lights. Oh, your voice just sounded like your sister, the soldier. What's her name? Oh yeah, Lean. I never thought we would meet her again like this. My sister was so kind to me. Also, she said she was looking for the Spirit Stone. I wonder what that's all about. Hey, cheer up, Fina. I'm sure there's a good explanation. Yeah, you're right. After all, Lean isn't a bad person. Well, the guy giving orders is evil. Fina? Sorry, I don't mean to worry you. Well, I guess I'm not acting like my usual self, am I? Right, Justin? Right, I like the smiling Fina best. Okay, Justin. Well, I guess we'd better sleep now. You both must be pretty tired. Well, let's get to sleep. We need to rest up for tomorrow. I hope you'll feel better, Fina. We're all in this adventure together, and we'll always be here for you. We're up and at 'em again tomorrow. Alright, well, that's all Sue had to say. Good night, Justin. Good night, Sue. Good night, Lean. Fantastic. SP recovery. 1 SP point is recovered each time damage is inflicted on a monster, or when damage is received from a monster. When the SP is at full capacity, you can use more moves, which may make combat easier. Fascinating. But, for the record, I am rarely running out of things to do. It's just, that hasn't happened yet. Where I've been struggling, and I have a lot of items to restore SP, MP. I think I just went the wrong way. Yeah, so they only did one movie. It was called The Mummy, and it tanked so horribly that they didn't have a franchise after. And yet these DC movies must be making money, right? Or else they'd stop, they wouldn't be making them anymore. So they've got a new Suicide Squad movie coming out. It's called The Suicide Squad, which is really stupid naming convention, but you know, they're trying their best out there.
Here goes! Ha!
I mean, I'll watch it because I feel like the DC movies have, there's hope. You know, there's hope for them. People just need to give them a chance. Like they'll rise up. They'll become better. And I feel like they're getting better. And it is a different vibe because a lot of people think like superhero movies are all kind of the same shit. And sometimes they are, but I don't know. They're different from it's like a different vibe from Marvel. Than Marvel. I've felt, and I've been starting to read DC Comics, and it is a very different vibe. A lot of them are darker and more serious. Oh fuck, a little bit cooler sometimes. But Marvel does have some of those. Like I've been reading Venom 2018, and that I feel like that might be my favorite comic that I'm reading right now, just from the last 2 issues I've read, because it's so phenomenally interesting. It is almost like just watching a movie. Like watching a Marvel film, you know? There's just crazy shit. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that, because the comics most of the time are just actually bigger. Most of the time. I don't know why I'm comparing it to a movie when it's better than a movie, usually. Actually, the Deadpool comic, I haven't returned to Immortal Hulk yet, so I think that's one that I'll be reading again soon, but I'm excited for that. But I definitely recommend Venom 2018. That's such a good series, and I don't even know a lot about Venom, you know? as a character. So it's kind of newish for me to cover that. A lake. Can we go any farther? Look, Justin, there's a river flowing through the lake. Huh? What's this all about? That is pretty freaking weird. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I read a little bit more of Doctor Strange today as well, and it's Surgeon Supreme. I feel like I gave that series a little bit of a... I didn't give it enough credit, you know? I didn't think it was that good. It wasn't capturing my interest too much, and then it completely, like... I changed my mind about it, you know? Because I read the next 2 issues today, and I was like, actually, it is doing some cool stuff. They brought back this character called... I don't know what the character's name is. He's got like druid abilities, like a magician. They're like, why are you alive? And he's just like back with no explanation. And it's pretty cool. He's trying to balance his life between being a surgeon but also being the Sorcerer Supreme, because he's like the world's greatest neurosurgeon. In addition to being the Sorcerer Supreme, so it's like he's got to kind of balance his shit. It's actually got an interesting print. I fucking didn't want to go back here. God damn it. I wish it was better marked. I wish it would give me a dialogue option to say, are you sure you want to go back this way? I really don't want to respawn the enemies here. Can we just be real? I actually am not sure what to do. Was I supposed to just walk into the lake? I didn't try to do that. Okay, there are no enemies, so that's good. I definitely went this way, right? Yeah, but I don't know. It's been okay. There's a Juggernaut series from 2020 that I wanted to check out, and that's been added to my list recently. Other than that, I've been reading a book. I don't know. This is one thing I've like not really wanted to talk about because it's kind of embarrassing, but I've mentioned in the past, I think, that one of my favorite things is... Oh, like what? Oh, I can just walk in the lake. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Well, what's this about? That's weird. One of my weird like things that I'm into is like extended universes and stuff that has like, it's just fascinating to me when a franchise has all sorts of different sources of fictional lore, like books and comics, and to read like that stuff that's like considered canon, you know what I mean? Like something about that has always like captured my interest for some reason. I don't know why. So one of those things is a TV show I've been watching since I was a kid. Back in like 2005, 2003, maybe it was earlier. There was this series called Doctor Who, right? That came back. Not a lot of people in the US could really watch it. But we happen to have BBC America on our TV. We happen to have a lot of channels. So my dad was watching and he's like, "Oh, it's this series that got a renewal." And like I used to watch this series sometimes when I was a kid. And he was talking about like the older classic Doctor Who. Apparently, he had watched some of that as a kid. So he's like, "Oh, so I wanted to watch this reboot. This lake must be some kind of illusion." So there weren't a lot of series that me and my dad and my family would kind of watch together. But Doctor Who was one of them. because from that like first episode, we were like, it became like one of my favorite, pretty much my favorite show. I was like, oh shit, I gotta watch this every single day, every single Sunday from now on. Like I was just sold, and it became like a family thing. I would watch it with my dad and my younger sister, and we were obsessed with it. It didn't really get popular until like Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor, was when it got more popular in the US for some reason. That always like freaked me out a little bit because literally nobody talked about Doctor Who until Matt Smith, and then it was like everywhere.
Pretty easy.
I found that weird. David Tennant was popular, but it was the show as a whole was much more niche. So people who were fans of it were obsessed with it, but like it was probably pretty big on Tumblr still, and like sites like that. But you know, like I said, not a lot of people had the proper access to it. Flip, this place is getting confusing. But yeah, so I've been watching Doctor Who ever since, and I actually stopped watching it for a second during like the Peter Capaldi era. Towards the end of Matt Smith, I was in college and I just didn't have access to watch the show anymore, so I kind of stopped watching it for a bit, and then I got caught up after college when I had my own TV and could sort of watch whatever I wanted. And so I watched all of Peter Capaldi, really liked it. I feel like he's kind of underrated in terms of he's not really underrated from people who care about the show, but because the show, a lot of people dipped out from watching the show after Matt Smith, because it was like, oh, now that's this old guy, and I have lost all of my interest in this show. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that, like, my little sister kind of dipped off after. She did not care much for Capaldi. Which I can't really blame her too much. But, he was incredible. He did a really good job. What the flip is that? An Aura staff. I already have one of those, don't I? Didn't I buy an Aura staff? I did. Well. Oh, you can use an Aura staff? Well, it's not. I'm not going to, though. Yeah, but I don't know. It's a show that's followed me my whole life, and, although, you know, like most other people, I don't... The new series is kind of shit, in my opinion. It's gone way downhill, and... You know, I know there was a big controversy about the show, like, before it came out, because, you know, there was a whole bunch of people being like, oh, the female doctor. I don't know how much people were actually saying this, as it was just people complaining about people saying this, as it seems to be most of the time. But, a lot of people, you know, that was kind of a thing, and people are like, oh, sexist people won't like the new Doctor, like, are complaining about the new Doctor, because she's a female, right? And that was like a big controversy at the time, I guess, is that people were complaining about it. I didn't really care. I felt like there's no reason it couldn't be. I mean, they already replaced the Master with a girl, so it's already something they did, and it actually worked really well. Like the chick who played the Master, the Mistress, they called her Missy, is the same actress that, like, she's incredible. She's just did a fantastic job. And so there's no reason it couldn't work. Like, I don't know why anyone would think like it can't work. As long as you do it right, and I feel like they just didn't do it right. The big issue was that they replaced the showrunner at the same time they decided to do this. Like, the showrunner is just terrible. It's kind of his fault that it went as bad as it did. I do feel like he just did it for the brownie points. Like, it kind of sounds from the way he talked about it. He's like, the first thing I'm gonna do is make the doctor a girl. And everybody's gonna pat me on the back. Like, he didn't have any good ideas with it. It was just like, it was just for the clout, you know? It's like, you gotta have you gotta have some ideas, man. You gotta have some good ideas here. You can't just decide to do something and, like, hope it works out, and then, you know, everybody's gonna have to like it or else. So that first season with Jodie Whittaker and like the new showrunner, it was by far the worst season the show has ever had, apart from maybe the season after it. Oh, it was so bad. And I was watching it, like, trying to be like, oh, it's just different. It's just different. Like, I'll get into it later. They'll do some cool stuff. But no, every idea he had was terrible. He ran the show into the ground, and it's just not. It's just pretty much over at this point. I don't know why he's so bad at this. Like, I do think it's just his decision to kind of follow more, like, I don't know. He's not a sci-fi writer, first and foremost. He writes dramas. Like, his big claim to fame is a show called Broadchurch, starring David Tennant and the other lady from Peep Show, who I don't know her name, but I know that she was the lady in Peep Show. I'm sorry if that's disrespectful. But she's a huge name actress. She's amazing. But the only other show I know that he did was Torchwood. And so it does kind of make sense that they would pick him if he was the one that did Torchwood, but he just didn't have any ideas. Or he did, and they were all bad. I kind of felt a little bit that I knew that I had an idea where he was going with it, because it kind of felt like he wanted to reboot the series in a way and, like, bring it back to its original premise, which I kind of vibed with a little bit, but it was just the execution that just didn't work very well. Like, because if you think about the original show, the first Doctor's original season, it was very laid back. It was a lot of historicals and intermixed with these weird sci-fi things, and it was serialized, but it was a lot like, you know, slow moving, more brainy, maybe not brainy, but I don't know. I feel like he was trying to bring it back to that, to first Doctor era, which is not something anybody else had done, and try to, like, revitalize the format that they were doing in that era. And he just didn't do it well. So I don't know what else to say about it, but it's truly not worth anybody's time. I can promise you that. If you think it is, it's not. I mean, maybe for new viewers they'll enjoy it more, I guess. You could probably enjoy it if you're a new viewer. The big issue is that it tears apart everything else about the show that was good, so I don't know, there's a lot of issues with it. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. There's a lot of really stupid stuff. None of the episodes are really good. They're just, you could say that some of them are okay, but none of them are great. Some of them are pretty bad. And I definitely don't blame the actress. I think she could have done a good job. It's just that the writing was so piss poor. Anyways, that's why I don't really like the show anymore. I'm gonna keep watching it until it burns to the ground, but hope somebody can fix it. But I'm not super hopeful that that's gonna happen. But anyways, like I said, I'm really into this show, and so I started to read some of the, like, tie-in, like, some of the novels, some of the comic books, and some of the other stuff, the short stories. I just wanted to read all of that. And I wanted to return to the first Doctor's era and just kind of you know, start from there. So, there's a whole like reading order guide that I found a long time ago called it's hosted on a site called iSpider, and it's basically called the Complete Doctor Who Reading Order. And I really liked this dude's philosophy, where his idea was like, I don't care if it contradicts anything that you know is you know, anything written, licensed Doctor Who, anything is going to be included. I'm going to try to put it somewhere in this order. And I thought that was really cool, so I just started to, like, go bit by bit and, like, read everything I could. And, yeah, I'm not very far in the first Doctor's era, because, you know, I tried to watch the show at the same time, start from the classic era, which, one of the interesting things about classic Doctor Who is that a lot of the episodes are just fully missing. So it's kind of actually difficult to watch. You can certainly try. If you want, but I'm trying to just go through everything. And I've been reading a lot of like novels and stuff, and I've gotten to the point where Susan leaves Susan behind. Susan's his granddaughter. And he leaves her behind after the Daleks master. No, it's not the Daleks master plan. It's the Is it the Daleks master plan? It's one of the Daleks series. I'm trying to find the way back. Getting confused. Back to the start. Oh, here it is. Right. Yeah, this is a very confusing area. So I'm reading a novel that's kind of set right after this period of time. Called... It literally takes place just after, and it's called Venusian Lullaby. And I have just struggled to get through this. Like, I've been reading pretty far. I was able to keep up with it for a while. And then I started reading Venusian Lullaby, and it's a tough one. It's not that bad. Like, the story itself is fine, but I've been struggling to like get into it and keep myself reading through it, and that's about it. That's about the tall and short of it. It's about a bunch of aliens on the planet Venus. And it's set in, like, the distant past where there's life on Venus before there's life on Earth. And the Doctor, like, knows these aliens, but they're really weird looking. And, that's the big hurdle for me, is, like, trying to imagine all of these weird aliens, like, moving around, and, like, they all have weird names, and I'm trying to keep track of them, but in my head, they all look exactly the same. So I'm like, how do I distinguish these different things in my mind just by the like, the names are really weird. Like Trikobu is one, and Maricado. Like, it's really freaking hard to keep track of each one in my head, you know. So I, like, they'll be like, oh, it's this one, and I'm like, fuck, which one was that? There's so many. It's a struggle, let me tell you. Fuck this stupid place, man. I'm so lost. It's a good show, though. But yeah, I've just been, that's one that I'm having trouble reading, and I guess it's because it's not that much different, I think, from the city that never sleeps, or what, I forget what the other one was. I read another one that felt kind of similar, and it's just about, like, it's an alien race, and they arrive, and they're like, oh no, our race sucks, and we do bad things to our people, and these guys aren't really about that, but their race is about to die, basically. Their planet is kind of doomed to kill them all. And so these other aliens arrive, and they're like, hey, we'll take you away. And then the whole conflict is that there's a prophecy, and they're not sure if the Doctor is the alien that's supposed to kill them all, or if the aliens that arrived are the ones. And they think it's the Doctor, because the prophecy is more specific towards the Doctor for some reason. Anyways, it's the first Doctor. I find the first Doctor to be very interesting. It's just really cool how the first Doctor, despite being the oldest actor that played the Doctor,
Pretty easy.
does seem like the youngest version of him almost. Almost, in some ways. He's very tricky, you know. He can be a bit blunt, a bit uncaring sometimes. He's very scientifically minded, and he just doesn't care too much about humanity yet. So he can be very rude. I hate this place so much. This part of this forest is extremely confusing. Yeah, I don't know. So that's the book I've been reading, and that's why I haven't read any books recently, is because I've been trying to force my way to finish this stupid Doctor Who novel. And it's just been...
Pretty easy, right, Puffy?
It's just been tough for me, I don't know. But it really isn't that bad, it's just that I've been reading a lot of them, and this isn't an especially interesting one. That's all. Yeah, once I finish this, I might have some short stories and stuff to read, you know. You know how it is. You know how it is, how it be sometimes. But that was an especially embarrassing thing, too. I haven't wanted to talk about that with, like, anybody. We've been, like... Nobody's gonna understand my, like, interest in weird stuff. It's partly why I read... I've also been... I added the, some of the Star Wars comics to my thing. A lot of the canon ones, because I really like those. And I kind of read those for the same reason, just because they're, like, interesting tie-in stuff. And I think it was also partly the reason I became obsessed with Resident Evil as a series. Just this stupid interest I have. And also why I like comic books in general is because that's all they are. It's like this huge backlog of lore and various things that take place in the same universe. It's just really cool. I don't know what wit does. Okay. Oh wow, are we almost full of... We are. We're pretty much full of items here. Okay. Noted. Yeah, when I first started to read comic books, it was sometime late in high school, and like I tried to... Well, there is something over there. How do I get to that? I tried to find a reading order. I was very foolishly like, maybe I can read every single Marvel comic book up to this point and know the entire Marvel lore in its entirety. And so I found this website called Complete Marvel Reading Order, and it was this dude who was like painstakingly trying to put every comic book in order, not only from the Silver Age, but also he tried to do an expanded that include the Golden Age and all of that stuff, and it was... He like, as far as I knew, as far as I could tell, I checked the, like, very last page of that, and he had gotten into the 2000s, I think, but I'm not sure if it was just him working on it. He added a whole bunch of other things to the site. So he's got like a Doctor Who order. He's got an X-Files one. He's got Star Wars. He's got a CSI one for... I think it's CSI or NCIS or something. I thought was a weird one. Yeah, he added a whole bunch. Then a DC one. But it wasn't finished. I did try to do that once, and I started with the Golden Age comics, and I sat there and I was reading through the Golden Age comics, and I was like, I don't want to read any more of these. These are very old, and I don't feel like they're man. They included like the Angel comics, just a lot of random stuff that you wouldn't be interested in. Power of spells and moves. The power of each spell increases with the spell level of the same type as its magic attribute. This also shortens the spell's casting time. The time before moves are executed is also shortened as the weapon skill level is raised. Alright. Yeah, I don't know. Don't try to do that. I foolishly started it, and I'm like, this is maybe achievable. And then I did the math after the fact, and I was like, actually, I'd have to read this many comics in order to actually achieve this within my lifetime. This many comics per day. Wait a second, Justin, look at that. And I was like, okay, well, can't do that. Never mind. That's just not gonna happen. It's the wall! I wasn't even registering it at first. I was like, what is this? Here at last, the end of the world. See, I told you. We did get here, didn't we? Okay, you told me so. Now the question is, can we climb it? Yeah, can we? Just look how high it is. I can't see the top at all. What do you mean? We've come this far, so enough with the doubts. We're determined to climb it. And anyway, nothing's impossible to an adventurer. Yeah, Justin, you sure are gung-ho all the time. Yeah, but he's right. Sure, let's go at it full force. We'll make it somehow. Alright, so let's go. I mean, we've hiked a long ways already. Oh, okay. They just kind of took me up there. Oh, alright. I'm down. Oh, this is a cool level. Oh, man. Alright. This is reminding me of, a little bit of Illusion of Gaia, in which you had a bunch of different, like, places in the world. Did that count as an ambush? No, okay, good. You can go to the Great Wall of China. I literally talked about this in an earlier episode, but it's kind of reminding me of that a little bit. This is very cool, very epic. I have no idea what's going to be on the other side of this stupid wall. But if the Garlisle forces have airships, then surely they could cross the wall whenever they wanted, right? Surely there's some twist to this, right? Because surely they're not just gonna go away once we get to the end of the wall. Once we get to the other side.
All right, we won.
Who knows? Would they? I doubt it. They haven't been very well developed just yet. Like, we don't really know much about what they're up to. But they have been trying to get a spirit stone, so maybe this is what they're trying to do, just get to the other side. Fuck me, dude. A lot of traps here. Anyways. I can't believe this. Oh my god. They keep crushing me. Alright, +3 agility. 55, 20, 26. Holy fuck, Fina has high agility. Okay, I gotta be careful. What? This was not at all what I envisioned to happen there. But yeah, I had to give up on my comic book thing. So I tried to just follow another guide that was all about the biggest comic moments. Where does this go? Oh, it just fucking crushes me. Oh, that's cool. Great. I thought there was gonna be a secret up there, and no, it was just a thing that was gonna kill me apparently. And I went through that, and that's kind of where most of my Marvel knowledge comes from, is just reading some of the more bigger comic events that they did. Yeah, so now I'm here. There's some that I missed, like, I didn't read House of M. I didn't read a lot of the 2000s ones, so I kind of want to go back and read a lot of those. But I did read some of, like, the Ultimate Comic series. So I have a bit of a knowledge of those. Bit of a working knowledge. That's why I made that video about the Miles Morales stuff. I made like a 2-part series about Miles and like his little origin thing from the Ultimate Comic. But yeah, now I'm just trying to get into reading comics again, and I'm reading more modern stuff because I feel like I've gotten the gist of everything else. I am gonna go back and read some of them, like House of M, maybe Avengers Disassembled. I haven't read, but I've read most of the other stuff, most everything else that's kind of important. Oh, I didn't read Civil War. Maybe I could read Civil War. I know what it's about. I could read Civil War 2 as well, but I don't know. I read a little bit of Civil War 2, actually, I should say. I did not really think it was worth reading.
Come on, get up!
All right, we won.
There's a whole lot of monsters over here.